All right, maiden day for the Extreme Flight Laser 60-inch. Finally, as you can see, we still have a lot of ice and crud, but it should be good. Got everything tuned up, range check, everything's good. Got my T-Motor AM600 all ready to roll. Thank you, T-Motor. Appreciate that. Gonna fly it with kind of low rates for now, just to get it trimmed in and check out CGs and all that stuff, and then we'll start playing from there. Little down elevator. Flying at half throttle. Went into mid rates here. Playing with the trim. No gyro right now. I'm gonna flip on a gyro real quick. Okay, I've got AS3X tuned up similar to what I have on my Edge. She definitely feels a little bit more locked in. Pretty neutral. Do that test again. Pretty neutral. Easy flying plane. Wow, what an easy plane to fly. Well, as a lot of people say, right? Bigger flies better. Boy, almost no coupling on that.
Flight path 22.6 volts.
22.6 volts. It's cold out, it's below freezing. I'm gonna make a couple landing runs here.
Flight pack 22.2 volts.
Didn't do a stall test. Why don't I do that real quick? Cutting back. Yeah, my stall test turned into a Harrier test. Okay. All right, let's land her, check some things out. Here we go. She wants to float. Boy, does she float. Very floaty. Very stable, but floaty on landings. makes them a little harder, I think, to land, at least for me. Yeah, it's always that. I always get that drop out of the sky at the very end because I'm not on throttle. That's okay. I think she can handle that. All right. Whew. Maiden is done. Trimming wise, just a little bit of tweaking here and there. Almost minimal trimming. Fantastic.
Looks like the receiver and satellite are working well. That flight was about 4 minutes or so and ended up at about 3.8 per cell.
Nice. Take it up. Got the side force generators on it this time. Power of this thing is amazing. I mean, unlimited. Over my head, which is horrible. Trying to get into that flat spin a little bit better. I've got to work on that. No coupling required on the knife edge. Easy. She is definitely locked in nice. I'll work on getting that Harrier a little lower. Wind is pushing me all around. Boy, she turns really sharp. Nice big old pop top. That power system from T-Motor is amazing.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
I'm glad it has those contrasts on the bottom. Sometimes my eyes play tricks on me.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
I mean, she just feels really locked in.
Flight pack 22.0 volts.
Yeah, man, that cold is just killing it. All right, I got to practice a couple landings here.
Flight pack 22.7 volts.
All right, I think that's enough on that battery. I want to check all the control surfaces to make sure there's nothing loose on any of them. Haven't done that yet. Probably need to do that. So darn cold.
Motor off.
All right, welcome back. I do want to summarize a little bit on the Maiden, the plane, and things like that. From the plane perspective, when I initially got this, to learn and to be a better aerobatic and some 3D, piloting, right? I have that Skywing Edge 540, and it's a good plane, and I enjoy flying it. I will say that flying this, night and day difference. This was so much more locked in and easier to fly. I don't know what it was about it, just as everybody says, talking with Adam, model aviator, it's like bigger flies better. And a 48 going to a 60, huge difference. And I believe it now because I've witnessed it. The Maiden went pretty much how I was expecting from an easy perspective, minimal tuning, minimal trimming. The CG was locked in where I had it, which is basically where they recommend, which is that former, there's a spar right behind, there's a former behind the wing spar, and they recommend that. As far as the tuning on the AS3X Plus, I don't know. It seemed good, but we'll continue to play around with it, and I might tweak that a little bit here and there. The battery I chose is a 3300 HRB, with a couple years on it. Now, it was sub-freezing weather, so the battery was sagging quite a bit. Next flights, when I take it back out, I'm going to go with a 4000 that are a little fresher. I don't think that additional weight's going to be a problem. Clearly not for this. You could probably put a huge battery in it. Might not fly super extreme aerobatic, but I don't do that anyway. So I'm going to do that. So everything about the plane worked good so far. Again, though, I only have 3 flights in it, so it's not like I can tell you everything that was great or bad or whatever. The assembly, as you saw, went great. All around, you're paying for a more expensive plane, and it delivers. There was a couple comments in the assembly about using CA for the control horns and things like that. And yeah, maybe, I mean, extreme flight, says that's what they use. They use medium CA on the control horns with a couple drops of thin. It's in their documentation, and that's what I followed. On the tail section, on the horizontal stabilizer, there was one of my flights where I jammed on the elevator and I heard a little click, pop. Brought the plane down and I checked everything. I couldn't find anything that was loose or whatever. Until I started back here in the shop, kind of pulling on that horizontal stabilizer, and I heard a little click. And that was CA'd in. So I added a lot more CA, here in the shop. Hindsight, 30-minute epoxy would have been fine and would have given me enough time to make sure that it was set properly as far as, perfect position and distance, when I measured to make sure it was even on both sides. Hindsight, maybe would have done that. 30-minute epoxy, probably would have done that on everything else just to feel more comfortable about it, I guess. Anyway, look, the plane flew great. The power was super. Everything about it was fun. Look forward to making some more videos. If you have a question or a comment, love to hear from you about what you think of these planes, how your Maidens go, what you would do different, and some tips on how to become a better 3D pilot other than a lot of sim time and a lot of practice. Anyway, hey, thanks a lot for watching the video. Appreciate it. Have a great day.